Profesora. You're here at John Jay. I would love for you to share a little bit about your journey going from a student and then finding that there are certain characteristics that we need to hone in on as being anti-racist leadership coaches. What are some of the barriers? And what are some of the ways that we can continue to uplift our students and our communities?
Thank you so much for your question. Thanks everyone for being here. John Jay is my alma mater. I got my master's degree here. And while I was getting my master's degree, they were trying to recruit me to get my doctorate because John Jay is a Hispanic serving institution. 40% of the student body are Latinos, 20% are African American, and so this is a Hispanic and minority serving institution. Unfortunately, at the time, the faculty did not reflect the student body. And so they were recruiting me to teach here. And so that's how I became an adjunct professor. So there would be more faculty that reflected the students like myself who would be here. And a lot has changed in the last 14 years. I can't believe I'm saying 14 years, but a lot has changed. We have a woman of color now who's the president of the college, who has done a lot to embed racial equity into our syllabi, culturally relevant programs to support the students. And quite frankly, CUNY is an institution that is the product of our public school system. This is a public school, it's affordable, there's a pipeline from our public high schools, our public schools into the city university system. And so when we talk about equity and anti-racism, right now there's a lot happening politically with trying to get rid of systems that provide equity, DEI. Alabama just passed a law banning DEI in their public school systems. Florida, other states, we're fortunate to be in New York, where that isn't gonna happen, hopefully, as long as we continue to participate in our electoral process and advocate for what we want. But there's a lot about DEI must die. And I just wanna say all that backlash is just rhetoric. We've heard it before. And I just want to encourage and motivate people to stay the course. That diversity, equity, and inclusion is not just about feelings or just counting how many Black people and brown people there are. It's about a full spectrum of rich recognition and valuing and respecting people. And valuing and respecting people is not divisive, because at the end of the day, it's really those who are anti-DEI, it's really about losing power. They're afraid. More women are in charge, more people in color are in charge. We're getting educated and we're getting in charge. So now affirmative action worked, right? It worked. There are more of us in power, there's still a long way to go. It worked, and then they cut it off because it was working. Power was shifting. So education is the key. It really is the key to help change the dynamic. And don't let these roadblocks stop you. So we talk a lot about the barriers, the systemic and the structural barriers, but how we get around that is through education. And we're very fortunate that, I'm very proud to be a John Jay alum and a professor here because the student body, I'm sorry, I didn't think I was gonna get so emotional, sorry about that. I love the students here because I hear Angela's story in her book, and there's still so many of our students who come here, first generation. 70% of the students here, I did some research before I got on stage. 70% of the students here are foreign born and first generation college students. So many people are coming here, and When you get higher education, the data demonstrate that you make 40 times more than your parents. So education is also an anti-poverty, breaking the cycle of poverty. And so, when I hear people buying into, especially Latino people buying into, well, college isn't for me, or I don't want to get into debt, or affirmative action is gonna wait, I can't get in. All of those things are just buying into the barriers and the structural barriers. And so I'm glad that we're here together to help motivate people understand that we can't let those barriers stop us. Don't buy into it. Don't buy into this rhetoric, because we're proof here on the stage and in this room that higher education is the key.